Okay, well, hey everybody. I am Sherry McAllister, and as most of you know, I know some of you are new to the series, just signed up recently, but I am your host for Tips from the Top, series number 3. And today we have the amazing Senior Executive Director, Lauren Granado, who I've known for quite a while now. I mean, we spent quite a bit of time together at different retreats and at your national conference and whatnot. So gotten to know her pretty good, had a chance to work with her on a few occasions. And, I think all of our speakers today have been just super amazing. And I promise you that this will be no exception. She is so good at doing what so many of us in this industry really struggle to do. It's one of the things that I know comes up on my coaching calls so often is my leaders aren't doing anything, they're barely active, they're not engaged, they're not participating, they don't want to do any trainings, they don't show up. And Lauren has really created a community within her entire organization, but certainly within her leader team. They are very engaged, they show up, they are big producers, they promote leaders. But let me tell you a couple things that, as I was reading a little bit about you, again, Lauren, just preparing for today, just reading your bio, I didn't know this until you sent me a little bit of information about you. She promotes 50% of her personal recruits to leader. I mean, I always say 1 out of 4 is amazing. That's 25%. And Lauren hits 50% of her personal recruits move to leader. That's an astounding statistic. So not only is she good at creating this loyalty within her leaders, but they're workers and builders because of the work that Lauren does and the model that she is herself. So you are in for a real treat. Let me turn it over to you, Lauren.
Hi, everybody. It's funny, Sherry, I actually didn't know that I had that high of a percentage of my personal enrollees promoting to leadership until I did the numbers, because of you were like, give me a bio. And I'm like, I don't know what to say about myself. So yeah, that was really exciting to realize.
She's got 2 top leaders herself, so direct to her. So that's also very exciting. But anyway, I'm sorry, keep going.
Sorry, I have a 3-year-old. Okay, so, and actually a big part of the reason why I have been able to have such a high rate of my personal enrollees promoting is because of the culture that we've created on our team. And I say we because it's not been, I mean, I'm here, I'm going to tell you guys what our focuses have been, what I feel like has contributed to that, but really our team has grown this culture, and all the leaders amongst our team and the stylists, even the brand new stylist reps, depends on whatever your company calls your representatives, your consultants. It's really a team effort. But there are 3 major things that I really feel have contributed to our team culture. We have a really strong culture of empowerment and working together. People are always willing to share. I don't think I have ever asked someone in my organization, hey, that's a great idea, I love what you did, can you go share that in our team space? I don't think I've ever had someone be like, yeah, no, I don't really want to share. It's always a yes. Even people within my organization in different smaller teams within, I have about 700 people, so there's a lot of like smaller little groups. They'll go to each other. They have relationships built, but they'll go to each other for things. They have business buddies, accountability buddies. They'll check in with each other. But the number one biggest thing I feel like has contributed to this is just assuming that when people join your team, when they come into the business, whether they're direct to you or just in your organization, assume that they want to work. Assume that they want to lead and build a team. And this is actually a big mindset shift that fortunately, I have had Sherry as a resource for my entire time with Color Street. And I learned this from her. This was a big mindset shift that I made in the very beginning, was instead of them coming in and you asking, okay, so what do you want from this business? Like, do you want to work it part-time? Do you want to be a hobbyist? Do you want to work real hard and make it big? No, you just assume that they want to work. You assume that they want to build a team, because why wouldn't they, right? Like anyone in their right minds, unless they hate money, they don't have to put a lot of hours in to be successful. So assume that they want to be successful. After they have shown you different, whether it's just that they're not coachable, or they're like, no, I don't want to do that many parties, or I don't want to build a team, have those conversations and move forward accordingly. Of course, like, don't push them to do something they don't want to do. Sorry.
Mom's on the phone, right?
Oh, I like prepped them and everything, and usually they're okay. Okay, sorry about that. Until they show or tell you differently, assume that they want to work and that they want to build a team, and train them and coach them accordingly. When people come into this business, oftentimes there's this misconception of like, oh, I have to learn how to sell before I can learn how to recruit, or I have to learn how to do all of these things before I can invite someone else to come into this business with me. When we set the standard that reinforces that, then you're going to have more people rolling off of your team. You're going to be losing a lot more people. Your retention is going to be lower, right? Because they're not making as much money, so they're not going to stay as long. But when you set the standard of, this is just something we do, you come in, you offer this business to your dream team, you reach out to your frank list, and you get your launch plus your first 4 parties on your first month right away, so that you can earn all this. That setting that standard makes them do that. They just believe that, like, okay, this is just what we do. Whatever you tell them to do, they're going to think is just normal. They're going to go do it. Launch plus 4 has been a really, really strong piece of that, which again, I learned from Sherry. But if you've been following her, you know that she recommends having your new reps, your new people on your team, booking their launch party plus their first 4 parties before they even order their business kit, before they enroll, join you, sign up, whatever terminology you use. And I know that this method gets a lot of pushback, because I've pushed back on it at some point myself, way back when. Sherry's smiling right now because she's like, oh yes, Lauren, I remember. But it really does work if you consistently do it. And as a leader of a large organization, it's not lost on me that you will never get every single person in your team to do what you're saying. There will be leaders who, they don't like that, they're going to do something else. I can tell you, looking at the numbers in my organization, the leaders who do follow that method and do like the getting started training, the let's get started training, walking them through all the things I recommend before.
Hey guys, can you mute yourselves out, because it's like a wind blowing or something.
Karina, could you mute? I think it's background noise. Thank you. The leaders, when they're not setting that standard for their teams, and they're just telling their teams to just, oh yeah, sign up, and then once they sign up, you can get launched and then work on bookings. Their teams are the ones that are constantly in rebuilding mode 100% of the time. Like, they'll have little times where they're doing real great, and it lasts for a couple months, and then it starts to trickle off again. So the culture of assuming people want to work, and that also builds a culture of your new people coming in know that you really actually want them to succeed. Your job is to help them succeed and help them make money. And I love being able to say to someone who is wanting to join me in this business, when they're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this, where do I sign up? And I'm like, oh wait, I'm going to set you up. We're going to get you all set up before you invest in your kit. We're going to make sure you have a really strong first month of business. So all those bookings and money are just waiting for you on your calendar before you invest a single cent, because I want you to make money. They're like, wait, what? So it's empowering them. It's helping them see that you actually want to support them and help them succeed. And you're not just trying to recruit and add to your team. So then they come in, they come in ready to work because the work is already ready for them. The next big thing, the second big thing that I feel has really helped foster the community within our team is that I strive to create a culture of acceptance and authenticity while still maintaining that, like, we are hustlers, we don't make excuses, we're solution oriented, but like, hey, sometimes we set goals and we don't hit them, and that's okay, as long as we use it as an opportunity to figure out where our opportunities for improvement are. So our team has, I feel like maybe all leaders feel this way, but I feel like our team has overcome some really unique challenges. Okay, Sherry's talking, so maybe we have just overcome some really unique challenges. I feel like maybe everyone feels that way, but there's been times where our team was in a huge period of transition, multiple times, and I didn't even know what to do. So instead of trying to, strong arm the steering wheel and force everyone to go a certain way and take control of everyone and everything, there are times where I just have to say, guys, I don't have all the answers. I don't know what this is going to look like, but thank you for being here and working together with me and supporting me and being team players. And sometimes that's all you can say. And no matter what company you're in, honestly, no matter what business you're in, even outside of direct sales, there's always going to be a challenge to overcome. There's always going to be there's always going to be some kind of obstacle. There's always going to be something. And I think that it really helps your team connect with you and realize that you're human just like them, you're relatable. It shows that they can do what you do when you admit that you don't know everything, you don't have all the answers all of the time. There's been times when I've made mistakes as a leader and I've had to come back and say, hey guys, I know that I've been saying XYZ, but I've realized that's not the best way to do things. So we're going to shift gears. Here's what we're going to try next. Here's why I've realized that, the old way didn't work. We're going to try the new way. And having just like instead of just, being a good idea fairy and being like, oh, well, it didn't work, let's try something new. Having the statistics and the numbers to back it up. This works for these other people, or I've been trying this in my parties and it's been working really well for my past 10 parties. Here's how to implement it for yourself too. Again, when you set goals and you don't hit goals, we set some big lofty goals. There have been times where I set a goal that I thought was lofty and they crushed it. There have been times where I set a goal that I thought was conservative and we were $20,000 away from it. So when you as a team, I don't know how to explain this part. We set goals as a team. So it's not necessarily like me getting together with the team and saying, hey guys, like, let's set our goals this month. But looking back at last year's numbers and looking what we've been trending for the months leading up to that current month, setting goals for the team. And I post them the beginning of each month. They know what our sales goal is as a team. They know what our growth goal for new reps is as a team. They know what our activity percentage. In Color Street, we call it bonus qualified. A lot of other companies call it like active or engaged. But what they know what our goal is for what percentage of our team needs to be bonus qualified that month. They know what our goal is for what the average sales per stylist is for the month. They know if we went up or down from last month. They see all of that. Now, not everyone is a numbers person, not everyone pays attention, but some people are, and they thrive off of that. And it gets them all kinds of fired up when they see that, oh my gosh, our team is, it's last day of the month and we're only 5,000 away from our goal as a team. We don't get anything if we hit it. There's no pizza party. We're spread out all over the place. We don't have in-person meetings. But just the satisfaction of working together as a team and hitting that goal is reward enough. And then when we don't hit our goals, coming back in the beginning of the following month and saying, hey guys, so our goal was this, we were this much away. Hey, if we as a team had had 3 more orders per day throughout the month, we would have hit our team goal. And breaking it down that way so they can see, oh, we were really close, even though it's, $10,000, $20,000, whatever the difference is, $1,000, breaking it down to like what we needed to do daily as a team, or how many more parties we needed to have on our calendar as a team for that month, helps them really see that like they can impact that bottom line. They can impact that number. And that even though they're 1 out of 700 people, they really, really, really do make a difference. Because when it comes down to like 3 more orders per day as a team, their mind, they go, oh, I could have done that myself. Like they see how much impact they have on the team and on the bigger picture. Another piece of that, back to like being authentic and, admitting when you make a mistake or admitting when you don't know. Hey, that's an excellent question, Susie. Let me find out the answer because I don't know either. It's okay to not know. It's also important to have boundaries and establishing a team culture of treating their business like a business. Establishing that team culture of treating their business as a business kind of ties back to like, assume everyone wants to work, assume everyone wants to grow a team. When you establish that culture of treating their business like a business, they do it. So the best way that we can do that is, when they first come in, taking them through their training for Launch Plus 4, having them block their calendar, set office hours, telling them what your office hours are. When you do that, the people on your team are going to follow what you're doing, because whatever you do and whatever you train to and coach to, that's going to be the standard, regardless of the standard in your company, regardless of where they've been before, what they've done before. Whatever you are doing and coaching to is going to be the standard for them. So having your own office hours and sticking to them, not always being at their beck and call, not answering messages immediately when that's not what you're working on right now. Making sure that your team knows, like, hey guys, I work 15 hours per month. I'm a senior executive director and consistently hitting like my sales and enrolling my recruiting goals. And I'm only working 15 hours per month. So you can also work up to this. It's very doable. It's very achievable. When they see us protecting our time and having a good balance of life and having those boundaries, it makes them more confident that they can do it too. And it also helps them respect not only their own time, but it helps them respect everyone on the team's time. And last, but definitely not least, celebrate everything. Now, don't glorify like, things like bonus qualified or engaged or whatever your company might call it. But celebrate your top sellers, your top recruiters. Celebrate those who have beat their personal best. You're not going to know. You're not going to be able to go through your entire lineage and figure out who has done that. But having like a once a month post, or having that be a focus each month within your team. Who's going to beat their personal best this month? What was your personal best before? What are you going to do this month? And then just saying, okay, guys, who beat their personal best this month? Shout yourself out below. Tell us what you did. Sometimes beating their personal best is hitting $500 in sales. Sometimes it's hitting $5,000 in sales. Obviously, person that's hitting $5,000 in sales is probably going to end up getting a little more recognition because they're probably going to be on your top sellers list. But that person who is so proud of themselves for hitting 500 because they've been chugging along at 300 this whole time, that deserves celebration too. You want to keep reinforcing those positive things so that they keep going. You just reinforced her for hitting 500 because it was beating her personal best. Well, guess what? She's going to want to do it again. And now she's going to do 600 and she's going to keep growing. Another thing that we do in our organization is Comma Club, which I actually have. Clearly, I'm not very good at mailing things out because this is from January, but we have a Comma Club where everyone in our team who sells over $1,000 for the month, they get a Comma Club sticker unique to the month. I didn't make this up. I got the idea from another leader who so graciously shared. But it's just like a little comma shaped sticker. And there's December too. So, ooh, guys, I've got it way together. But they love to like collect these and put them on their luggage or on like the big, water bottle tumblers, on binders. They'll pin it to their corkboard in their workspace. Everyone gets so excited. I am not a sticker person. I order them from, because Tammy asked, I order them from stickerbeat.com, but there's not like a link to just like go order comma club stickers. I designed it in Canva, but I just like typed comma, enlarged it, typed comma again as a text, enlarged it, made it different colors, added text over it. But I'm not a sticker person. I'm like, incentives, yeah, give me all of the money, give me the recognition, but I don't need like a card with a sticker on it. What am I going to do with that? I cannot even tell you. I can't believe how excited all of these adults get about stickers, but they love it. So Comma Club is a big deal. We recognize, for hitting 1,000 in sales. And then when they have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, et cetera in sales, I actually have little clear circle stickers that say like 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, and so on. And I just stick them right on there. Because usually like at 700 people, I don't have like 1 million people that are selling over 3, 4, 5,000. So it's just like a handful. I can easily add the little stickers to it. I know other leaders that use like Sharpie, but just celebrating, even though they're not a top seller, they had over 1,000. It's just a fun thing. And then of course they get the sticker and they're like, wait, I want the 2K one, I want the 3K one, and they keep going. And then giving goals. So a lot of the time when we reach out to our team and we say, hey, what are your goals for this month? Especially if they're newer, they have no idea. They don't know. They might know what's normal for the team, but they usually need us to kind of like help them like, okay, so how much do you want to earn ideally, or how many hours per week do you have, and kind of go from there. Like, okay, great, you could do 2 parties per week, and that would, if they're average parties, that would give you $3,000 in sales, and that would earn you X amount of money, whatever it is, depending on the commission structure for your company. And kind of like walking them through it like that, and that helps them understand how to set goals. But sometimes they really just need us to say like, okay guys, like your goal is 1,000, who's going to hit Comma Club, who's going to max out our compensation plan, who's going to hit 2,400 and get their biggest bonus they can get, and kind of like telling them what the goals are going to be. Again, not everyone is going to go, okay, I'm going to do that, but the workers will usually strive towards whatever you are setting as the standard. That is all I've got. But honestly, I think the biggest like 3 key pieces are really just setting the standard that it's a business. You can set that standard and like set boundaries, have office hours, treat this like a business while still being authentic and vulnerable with your people and having a personal connection with them. You don't have to be everyone's best friend. It actually is better if you're not everyone's best friend. But there is that line of like having boundaries, and this is a business, so treat it like a business, and also knowing that they are a human and connecting with them in that way. And I feel like that is one of the biggest struggles that I see when other leaders are, venting or frustrated with something happening in their team. They're either like super disconnected, everything's a number, or more often I see people on the other side of the spectrum where it's all about feelings, it's all about friends, it's all about like, it's like a club instead of a business. So keep those things in mind, celebrate everything. Assume everyone wants to work until they show you that they don't. Treat it like a business, help them treat their business like a business, and stay authentic, connect with your people.
Can you maybe give us a little bit more detail, Lauren, on what do you think you've done that just creates this loyalty to you? And you can ask anybody to do anything, and they're like, Yeah. So how come? What,
I don't know if it's so much a loyalty to me as just the culture and the standard that we've established. I mean, a a big part of it trickled down from CJ. Being CJ Summers was our upline, and right from or out of the gate, she fostered a really strong community within the whole company of sharing and empowering each other and not like withholding things that could help other people. You don't gain anything by keeping someone else back. You don't gain anything when you don't share. There are enough customers, enough new team members, enough parties to go around for everybody. Everybody. There are a lot of people in this world, a lot of people in this country. We're all going to connect with different people. So I try, I mean, it's not always easy. Sometimes things happen that leave you a little jaded and you don't want to share anymore. I think any leader has been through that. But just really striving to keep that mindset of a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. I don't think it's necessarily like loyalty to me. I think it's just the culture that we've started from the very beginning.
I know CJ started it, but there's a lot of leaders in CJ's org that don't get the participation that you do. So she started it, you fostered it, and kept it going. Do you mind if I share a little bit about the out of stocks that you guys went through?
Go ahead.
So I just think this is important because I know that we feel like, our company is like a train wreck at certain times, right? And so it's like crisis mode. Well, I watched Color Street go in March, April, May, June, July, August, like so many companies. In those really, those months where normally we're seeing a slower, we saw a wow, faster. And a lot of the companies that I work closely with saw that same trend, and you probably did too. Color Street happened to be in a unique situation where women couldn't go to salons right now. And so people who've never used Color Street before were like, tell me about this, and so it really got to be you were pretty much on the move company anyway, but certainly that just took it to a whole new level. And so I'm coaching all these girls at Color Street. They're like, okay, so we launched something today. It sold out in 20 minutes, and then as we got like into April timeframe, it's like, okay, we have 2 designs and it's April. And I think we've got like, Christmas trees and,
Yeah, we had like a Valentine's set and 2 St. Patrick's Day sets, and that was consistently in stock for a good like 2 or 3 months. And then things would restock. We'd have like 8 to 10 colors restock, on restock day each day, and they'd be gone in 5 minutes. So if you didn't have fast internet, if you worked during the day, if you just weren't fast enough, the site would crash. There were a million things happening. But that actually reminds me, Sherry, another thing that we did within our team was, hey, if you are at work, and we still do this with the new launches coming out because they always happen at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'd tell my team, if you are at work, if you have a job where like you are in the medical field, or, just as an example, there's no way you can be on your phone. You can't be like, oh, stop, I need to order some nail strips. Or if you don't have internet, like at your work, whatever it is, like you have nothing that you can order your inventory with, because that was the only way we could sell for a while. Reach out to a sideline sister, reach out to your enroller, reach out to your upline. Heck, reach out to me. I can't help all of you, but I can help as many as I can. Tell me what you need. Reach out to someone who you trust with like your payment info, or like Venmo them the money, figure out the total ahead of time and Venmo it to them, and we'll figure it out. We'll get your order for you. And so everyone was really working together, hardcore during that time.
Yeah. So it could have been, it was a time that was super frustrating, especially for the newbies at Color Street who've never been in this kind of a business before. And, this is their first experience, and all of a sudden they have nothing to sell. But it was handled really well. by your org and just, really kept him positive. But I just wanted to share that specific with you so that you kind of get a sense of some of the trials that Lauren has gone through in the last year. That's just one of them, that she had to keep everybody on track, staying with her business, because it would be really tempting to leave that company when you've got nothing to sell, or two designs that are, not even like the right season. But they bought them, didn't they? It was like, okay, give me snowflakes. But so it was, you went through some real trials this month. I wrote down something. Well, I wrote down something, maybe a lot of some things, but one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys is, I don't remember, maybe a year ago, Lauren, I can't remember, but you messaged me on Facebook and you said, and you just you sent me a screenshot of a message from your new stylist who had been with other companies. And it basically was just saying, thank you so much for really getting me off to a great start and show me how to be successful. I've never had this kind of support in another company. And really, it was just what you said. It was all about just tell them what to do and they'll do it. It was 2+4, and then we'll go to the next step. So that was the emotion that came from that new person. We're so afraid that they're going to think we're pushing them into doing something. They don't know what to do. So, Lauren, I love that. It's like, tell them what to do. They just think that's what they're supposed to do. That's just our system, right? But I'm going to give you guys, so someone asked, is there a way that you can share a pic of your comma sticker? And if you send it to me, I'll put it in there.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put it in their email that they get that lets them know that the recording is available. I don't know if you can see this, but Lauren inspired us all during that time. Oh, thank you. That's really sweet. So do you guys have any thoughts, like your best takeaway from today, or questions, or I love this, just anything like that you'd like to put out there right now? You can just unmute yourself and share away. Well, while we're waiting, a culture of authenticity, admit your mistakes. I loved that. She talks a little fast, so I'm not sure if you picked up on this, but she is a senior executive director. She's a top leader at her company. And she said something about, her personal business and her party count. Lauren, she doesn't need that money that comes from her parties anymore. Her overrides and her bonuses are where her big money is at. But she really understands how important it is that you are modeling a really strong personal business, because as a senior executive director, if you stop doing parties because you don't need that money anymore and you start focusing on your team, guess what? When they get to senior executive director, they stop doing parties. And the Laurens of the world they're your builders. They're the people who built the company. They're the people who built this large organization and help build your organization if they're in your downline. I mean, can you imagine if your executives stop doing parties? Lauren, they're the mid-level leaders in your company, but they're certainly a role model. So that was one of the things I just didn't want you to miss, that she really models having a strong personal business to this day. And that's really important.
Yeah, and another thing that I really stress with my team is that I'm never going to tell them or ask them or expect them to go do something that I'm not willing to do myself. So I think that does foster a higher level of respect for any leader when you know that they're not just like sitting over here like telling everyone what to do. They're actually working also. And yeah, at this point, I like money. I'll take whatever money I can get. I love money. So doing those parties, no, I don't need the money, but it definitely increases my paycheck. But the biggest motivator is that that's where I get my new stylists. I don't necessarily do the parties for the PV or for the income. I do it because that's where I'm going to find my new stylist. And I know we all know what the end of the month is like when you're like, you see someone, they're so close to a goal, and how many times have you seen that they're like one person away? One person away. They've worked their butt off. They have all the volume they need. Their team is crushing it. They're leading their team, and they're one person away from getting like a $2,000 pay raise and hitting the next title. I love in those, like, you know, in those scenarios, being able to say, well, I have a new stylist who's crushing it, and I actually think you'd get along really well, so I'm just gonna put her right there because we have strategic placement. Or even just seeing your team goals at the end of the month and going, dang, our goal was to add another 100 team members and we're at 98. I could have recruited 2 more people this month and we'd all be, you know, the energy for our whole team because we hit that goal as a team would be so much higher right now rather than missing it by 2 people.
So how do you get a team of 700 people?
You follow what Sherry says. You do what Sherry says.
I'm not asking for that.
I know. You party, you recruit, and then you teach them to do the same thing that you're doing.
Yeah, that's where you get your next leaders. But, I thought this was amazing. So I'll be quiet for a second. Do you guys? Somebody asked if you could just share one more time what the comma stickers are.
Oh yeah. So one of the incentives we do in our team that gets everyone pumped up. I'm gonna open it because I don't know if the plastic might make it hard to see. We do comma club, and sorry, this is like me unwrapping these. It's probably loud. I got the idea from another Color Street leader, my friend Erin. She does them for her team, but everyone who sells over $1,000 that month, so has a comma in their personal volume, is in the comma club. And literally they get a sticker, which sounds so silly and arbitrary and just like, what? It's a sticker. But you would not believe how excited people get because they'll collect them. I mean, they collected through November of last year because then Lauren hit a wall and these have been sitting on her desk for months. But like December, January, February, March are on their way. But they'll collect them. They're a little bit different each month, and they'll put them on like their water bottles or their binders or their luggage, or even just like pin them to their little cork board. And it's just like, it's a form of recognition that they, if they want to, can show off. Like, you know, you go to conference and someone's got a suitcase covered in little comma stickers, you're gonna know they've been consistently working their business.
Is there anything to differentiate whether it was like 1K, 2K, 3K, and so on?
Oh, yes. So I have little like round, they're clear stickers, but then it has black writing that says like 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K. And it's because it's a little like round clear sticker. When I'm putting these together to mail out, I just stick it, which really should be like an assistant job. Okay. Pretend I just said I have my assistant do it. I just stick it on there. And then, you know, people get them in the mail and they're so excited and they're posting, and I'll pick like 10 people from Comma Club to just like add extra goodies into their package. I'll do a little package for them instead of just this with the card. And then they're posting pictures. They're like, oh my gosh, thank you, Lauren. I got my Comma Club stuff today. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Oh, I can't wait for my new sticker to be on my water bottle. Like, it's a sticker. It's a sticker. And I read these posts that they're making and I'm like, really? It's a sticker. But other people within your organization then see those posts and they're like, I want prizes. Wait, hers says 3K. I want mine to say 3K. People are going to know if I sold 1,000 or 5,000. Well, I'm going to work harder then. And then when here's the other thing, when they're doing those posts publicly and they tag you, anyone who's thinking of joining you is going to be more likely to jump in.
Yeah, recognition is the number 2 driver in our business. So any way that you can find to recognize, and I just think that's really brilliant. Somebody they asked if you could share again how you create that sticker. I know you said Canva, but maybe you could share one more time.
Yeah, so I just took you can like search in some graphic design sites or apps for like a comma shape or image. I couldn't find one that I liked, so I just did like text. Like I typed a comma like on my keyboard with just the text, and then I enlarged that comma and made it, dark blue. And then I did another smaller comma. It was light blue. And then I just kind of like, cut off the edge there. And then I put like the month and the year. And our team name is the Phoenix Faction. So it says the Phoenix Faction, the little flames.
Cool.
Comma club. And like I said, guys, like I don't want to take credit for like coming up with this, because I didn't come up with this. I just copied somebody else.
Well, Eva did a great training on graphics. So if you haven't watched Eva Jones' training yet, you'll see how you create things like that in Canva. So she did a really great training there. But the website that they order, so you have this graphic, get on the website.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. The one there's two that I like. One is stickerbeat.com. I like them because their stickers come with this little tab, so it's easier to peel. And then stickermule.com is the other one that usually has better like deals and specials and things going on. If you subscribe to their email, they'll like email you whatever their daily deal is. So I just kind of like watch both and do whichever one is a better deal that month.
Thank you for repeating the sticker information. I joined right as you were starting to explain it, and I had a little bit of background noise. So I appreciate you repeating it with greater detail.
Of course, no problem.
And little things like that really do matter. I mail postcards out to people, and I guess I've seen pictures of them having like a wall of postcards. I'm like, they're not even different postcards.
Yeah,
but they get excited.
I have a box full of all of the postcards, and like, the little, what are those little cards called where like you open the window and it's got like an inspirational quote?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Even those, I have a box full of like, I used to have them hanging, but then we had to kind of like convert my office to an office/homeschool room when there wasn't quite as much space. Yes, those. Thank you. I have like all my like notes and postcards and little like You Matter cards in a box. Like I probably will never throw them away. I have my certificates. Sherry, you're gonna get a laugh out of this. My little certificate. I was like, I'm gonna have to just like print out my own from now on. It's fine.
I put these inside of birthday cards for my team members that are active, and a lot of times they'll post them, and I think it's the best gift ever, and it doesn't really cost that much, and it doesn't add to the stamp at all either.
Yeah.
People like recognition, especially a lot of people in direct sales or mothers.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get credit for, oh, good job cleaning the toilet. That toilet is sparkling clean. So some people don't get any recognition at their like full-time job or whatever. So little tiny recognition, even if it's a post within the Facebook group, that motivates people because they might not ever hear good job or thank you or congratulations about anything. So it definitely is motivation.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, we recognize so much. We recognize the first time that they're bonus qualified, which, should ideally be like their first week in business because they're ordering their kit and then lunching right after. When they hit their jumpstart rewards, which every company has, an equivalent of that. It's, for 1,000 in your first 35 days and so on. When they get their first sale, like, I don't feel like you can ever celebrate too much. You can go down the road of like celebrating the wrong things. If you're like, yay, everyone who is BQ this month, and then like, that's it. But I don't feel like you can really celebrate too often.
Do you do shout outs on their page too, Lauren? Just curious.
Yes. So whenever I do it for my personal enrollees, because it would be, I would die if I was just doing shout outs for our whole organization all day. But for my personal enrollees, I will shout them out when they hit their jump starts and when they hit a new rank, or even just if they like went live to share something with our team. I, especially for like jump starts and rank, those are the two big ones. I will actually do it on my own profile and tag them, because I know, especially for the new stylists, if I just go post it to their Facebook profile, now we're getting into like social media territory, but if I just go post it onto their profile, let's say they have like 300 Facebook friends, which I feel like is average. Most of those people have no idea what is happening, that they are in a new business, what Color Street is, like what they have no idea what jumpstarts are or what the name of ranks mean. Like they have no idea. So they might like it, but like those posts are gonna get 20 people interacting on them at the very most. If I post it on my own personal profile, because of, you know, being a senior leader and having networked with so many other leaders in the company and other stylists, if I post it on my profile and I'm like, oh my gosh, Susie, you're so amazing. You hit your first jump start. You hit it a week early. You earned an awesome commission. Plus you also earned this so far. And I'm so excited for you. And I admire how hard you've been hustling and how coachable you've been. You are just really killing it. I can't wait to see how quickly you hit your next jump start. So it's recognizing them, giving that positive reinforcement, cheering them on, recognizing what they are good at, not just like, hey, you hit this number, but I admire that you hustled right away, that you're coachable, that you're driven, persistent, whatever it is. Then other leaders and stylists from Color Street, outside of like the 10 people she's met from our team so far, they're going to see that, they're going to come chime in. Wow, congratulations, that's awesome. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. And the more interaction and comments that that post gets with your new stylist who just hit her jumpstart being tagged in it, it's still going to show up on her profile, but it's going to be, Facebook is going to show it to a lot more people than just like if you posted it directly to her profile. Like the more engagement a post gets, the more people Facebook shows it to. So more of her friends are going to see that. And then they're going to see that there are 30 comments of like all these people cheering her on. And they're going to go, oh my gosh, they have such a great culture of like cheering each other on there. They all want each other to win. They're all excited. Whatever she did must have been a really big deal. Maybe I should look at this business too. So it kind of actually helps them be even more successful in their business too when you do those shout outs.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Tammy, I feel like you know so much about every topic. She's always got an app or a helpful tip on whatever app we're talking about. You must be like app savvy. So before we let everybody go today, I just want to share a couple of housekeeping things. I'm getting a lot of questions about where do I find the password. And the password is under every recording on your recording page. And also a lot of you are not seeing the reminder to get on the call that day or not seeing the notification that the recording is available. So I encourage you to look in your junk mail because a lot of times it goes there. So it's, it's probably, it goes out to everybody. And so you may not just be seeing it because it's in your junk mail. So I just want to give you a couple heads up there, but that's the most common questions that I'm getting right now. So I hope that helps. Lauren, thank you so much for sharing your brilliance today. This is one you got to listen to a few times, isn't it, guys? I mean, there was just a lot on 3 different topics of information that will help us to really build that really great organization that's working their business, engaged in their business, and team players within your leader team. So thank you so much for sharing with us today. You were brilliant. Love you. You're awesome.
Thank you so much, Sherry, for having me. It's really an honor to be included in all of this, and I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay, so thank you, everybody, and we will see you. Let's see, it's Monday, where we've got Laura talking, not Lauren, but Laura talking about keeping your money. She's a financial wizard, so she's got some really good financial information for us. So hope to see you there. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.